Today on WZRA TV, we are very glad to have with us who you guys all know and love from Married at First Sight, Honeymoon Island, Chris Perry. How are you?
What's going on? I'm good. I'm chilling.
So we have a lot to cover. I don't know where to start first, to be honest. Okay, we're going to start off because everybody knows you from Married at First Sight, so we're just going to start off with that. Tell us about that experience. What was it like for you, and what made you really go on that show?
At that time, I was just like, I was single. I didn't have anybody. I feel like the dating world, I was just kind of like, trying to find the right person. I wanted somebody. I have a daughter that's sick, and I just, you get sometimes you just want somebody. So this opportunity had came across me. I think it was through like an email or something. Somebody had reached out to me in regards to the show, and they saw a lot of the stuff that I posted on Facebook and Instagram, like all the lovey-dovey stuff, and we went through like this long casting process. I didn't think it was going to take that long. They had to do like a background check and evaluation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like you had to get like a psychological evaluation and stuff like that. So they didn't really tell us too much about what exactly the show was going to pertain to, but I'm very glad that I did it. Like it was an awesome experience, and I have a lot of close friends from that show.
Do you still talk to, like, what we're remembering something like Jonna? Like, do you talk to Jonna still?
Yeah, that's my guy. He's cool people.
Yeah? What is he up to? Like,
I think he's just really just enjoying his life. Like, I know he owned a couple clubs and ended up selling his clubs, and he made like good money. So I think he's really just traveling and enjoying life.
And you're in a relationship now, so tell us, how did that happen? And like from the show till now, how did that relationship happen that you're in now?
Okay, so the girl that I'm actually with now, Brittany, I actually met her back in high school. So I've known her for a long time.
Oh, in high school. Okay.
Right. So after the show, probably like not very long after the show, me and Jada decided that we just wanted to be friends.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to pursue a romantic relationship. And I was out one night with my boy, and I ran into Brittany again, a very pretty, like, attractive girl. And I ended up, we just ended up hitting it off and talking. And I was telling her about my situation, and I was on a TV show and stuff like that. And it just kind of like fell into place. And a lot of people feel like I was cheating on Jada when I got home. And then I just met this other girl, and I was talking to somebody else while I was talking to Jada, and that wasn't the case. Like, me and Jada had a very clear understanding that we weren't going to be together, and that we were just going to be friends. So, yeah.
Well, tell us, you said you saw Brittany again. Is there more to the story? In other words, like, was fate kind of playing its cards here? Like, you saw her again? How many times did you end up seeing her? Like, what made you say, okay, like, this is the girl that I want to be with?
So, like I said, I grew up with her. She went to Binghamton High School. I went to a Catholic school, but they were, like, right next to each other.
Okay.
We knew each other from we had the same group of friends.
Okay.
So we just kind of, like, ran into each other every now and then. I always thought she was a pretty girl. I always talked to her. We had little talks.
Okay. What made you say, I want to be with her?
I don't know. We just started talking, and I felt like we were just kind of in the same place. We were just connected. And then
okay.
Things just kind of fell into place, and then over time, here we are now, 5 years later.
Wow.
4 years later, 4.5 years later. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. That's amazing. So what really stood out with Brittany? Like, I know you've known her, but I'm saying, was she very different? I know you connected like that. Like, what makes her different as opposed to dating other girls that you chose Brittany?
I really feel like Brittany I just love, like, she had a strong personality. Like, she was a strong woman. She had her own mind, and I love that about her. And, she kind of challenged me with a lot of things, and that was cool. She wasn't like, I don't know, I feel like when you have the followers and you have the social media stuff, like, certain girls don't really, like, challenge you. Like, they're just kind of like, oh, whatever, do what you want. But I don't really want that. I want somebody that's genuine to themselves, and that they're going to be honest with you regardless of whatever. And I feel like we had a genuine connection. And that's how we got where we are today. That
is awesome. Okay, now you got to be honest with me. Today's dating world has changed. Even since you were on the show, every day keeps changing. Tomorrow's going to change. It just keeps changing. Right. And I think getting a little bit more difficult, being single here, like in the dating world, it's like getting harder and harder every day. Do you think in this time frame you would be able to survive if you weren't dating Brittany? Do you think you'd be able to make it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's tough. Like, this new generation is different. Like, and I think because the reason why it's so different is because everybody thinks there's so much fish in the sea. It's really not, because we have this social media, and everybody's searching to be creators and influencers, and they all just want to be seen. And I don't think really people put that effort into relationships because it could just be on to the next. So it's very hard to just find like a good person, and people aren't willing to work on relationships. And that's what I talk a lot about with my podcast stuff.
Right.
I just feel like it's a lot harder now because it's so easy to say, you know what,
Yeah.
I'm going to move on because this other guy's been talking to me. So I'm just going to get a chance. And if it doesn't work, whatever, I'll talk to the next person and the next person. And it's just very hard to just, you know, I feel like social media has changed the dynamic of relationships in general.
Yeah. Do you think even after the pandemic too? Because I feel like things were different, and then after the pandemic, everybody.
Oh my God. Since the pandemic, everybody's different since the pandemic. Like, even when I go to a grocery store, like, I feel like people are kind of like mean, like they lost their social skills.
Yes, I agree with that.
People are crazy. Like, it's so weird to me to see like how people are. Like, I feel like that time that they had alone and secluded from everyone, they just kind of like got grouchy and cranky.
I agree.
Stuck in their own ways.
I agree with that. It's everywhere. Like you said, I know grocery store things. Everybody's just changed. It's like everyone's unrecognizable, I'd say.
For sure.
I agree. What was I going to say? Okay, so then also tell me, like, how do you feel about the whole self-care thing? You know how everyone's like, oh, focus on yourself, inner work, whatever. You know, that I feel, like my opinion, you're going to tell me your opinion in a second. Sure. That's to like, you know, like a certain extent. Once you've done that for years, I feel like it is a good thing to have a companion and to like share it with someone. And I feel like society, like the youth, has stretched out the self-love, and it's too much, and it's become egotistical, and it's kind of become me, that they don't share their lives with other people. Do you feel that way, or what's your opinion on kind of that portion?
Yeah, I do believe that people have become too self-absorbed.
Yeah.
And I feel like society has done that, like social media has done that. That's a huge piece. Like, everybody, when they start getting attention and they start noticing different attention and they start getting followers and they start seeing everybody else that's talking about this self-love and how important it is to just cut people off instantly when they do something wrong. Like, that's the crazy part to me, is like everybody just kind of, whatever they hear on social media is what they want to do. So when you hear somebody say like, yo, just cut that person off if they're bad energy in your life. Like, no, you don't just cut, you don't just run. Sometimes you got to work on things.
Yeah.
You got to communicate with people. People's communication skills are just like, a lot of people lack communication skills. When they're hurt, when they're upset, when they're angry, the first thing that they come to is, I'm just going to cut you off and I'm never going to talk to you again. And it's not, you know what, I'm going to tell you how I feel, why I'm upset. And maybe we can communicate and work on these things together. And that's something that we lack.
Yeah, that is. But you know what it is? It's so nice and refreshing, like we said, because we see your videos. We've seen you, like, for years, how you speak all these things. Do you find a lot of people that are like you, because you are kind of rare in what you're saying, and you don't see it very often? So how do you feel like, you know, being one of the special ones? No, it's seriously, though. How do you feel? Yeah.
I mean, I'm by no means perfect. Like, I'm working daily. I do feel like I have an old soul when it comes to certain stuff. Like, I don't follow anybody. I'm just very in my, you know what I mean? I'm in the Bible. I'm in the Word for my mature brothers and my mature friends that kind of teach me and are mentors for me. Like, that's a huge part of my life, is having mentors that can guide me, because I don't know it all and I'm still learning, and I'm going to make mistakes and I'm going to mess up a lot. So I just want to make sure the people that I have in my life are influencing me in a positive way, to where I can grow and be a better man, you know?
That is amazing. I love hearing that.
Yeah.
I love hearing that.
It's hard, though. It's a process.
Yeah.
You mess up a lot.
Yeah. But like we said, live and learn. Like we said, everything's like a learning journey, and you grow from it 100%. A soulmate for people out there, do you think everything's written? Like, how do you feel about that?
Man, I don't know. Like, I'm in a crossroads, because I don't know if I believe, I'm not going to say people have soulmates, but I do believe, like, you can have genuine connections with people.
Yes.
I was reading a lot, like, on like the unwritten scriptures that didn't make it to the Bible and stuff like that. Understanding like how much the Bible is kind of man-made, and it was kind of structured a certain way to fit a certain narrative. So, I mean, I guess like the only answers that you can really get from God, or I feel like the best answers that you get from God, is through prayer.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily through what you read. It's what you pray, and then God will answer. Holy Spirit will answer. You'll get those connections. So, I don't know if you have a soulmate. I just feel like, you know, you'll run into genuine people that you connect with.
Yeah.
And that connection leads to work. Like, are
Yeah.
you willing to connect, build, and work with each other? Because you can have somebody that you're connected with and that you feel is your soulmate, but if you guys aren't putting the work in, you just kind of, it's never gonna work.
So what? Yeah, I think like that's kind of like the problem. Like with everybody, what they find these connections. Like they have a connection with people, and the guys just don't go through, or vice versa. Girls don't go through with it. Like that's like the whole problem.
Right.
So how do you get past that? Like,
It's just under communication. I think the best thing
yeah,
is communication. If you're
yeah,
not, you have to communicate with your partner and tell them how you feel
yeah,
and what you want and what you want to work on. And therapy, a lot of people are scared. Like I have a lot of girls in particular that message me and they'll be like, me and my boyfriend are going through this. I'm not a therapist by any means. I'm not gonna sit here and try to act like I'm a professional. I'm not.
yeah.
I might give good advice. I might have a good understanding of certain things, but therapists are amazing. And if you can find a good therapist for your relationship, that's gonna help you like exponentially.
Right.
Like Brittany has a therapist. I have a therapist that I was seeing. I'm actually looking for another therapist.
Oh wow.
And it's good for relationships.
Oh, very awesome. How do you feel about like today's society being? What was I gonna say? Like just kind of like when they see people that are wife material, I guess, like girls per se,
Yeah.
they kind of run from that. Or if they find out the girl is wife material, yeah, they just don't want relationships with them. They choose people that are not wife material. Brittany, I like the fact that she was independent. She had it all together. That didn't scare you. If people find out girls are independent, it scares guys nowadays. So how do you feel about that?
I do believe that, yeah, a lot of guys, what do they say about women nowadays? That women have masculine energy?
Yes.
Did a video about that.
Yes.
That they're independent and they
I
have
saw that. That's why.
they got this masculine energy to them. No, like a strong man's going to like a woman that's independent. You know what I mean? He's going to come together and they're going to build as a team. There's nothing wrong with that. Like at the end of the day, if a woman doesn't have a man that can help her, she's got to get it herself.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna read back some of your clips. We have some of them here, and you're gonna tell us more about them because I love these. Okay, you said
Okay.
a lot of these dudes don't even bring anything to the table. They starve their woman of her wants and needs and still expect to be treated like a king.
Right. Because I feel like a man, because he's a man, he expects to get treated a certain way. But if you aren't handling your responsibilities as a man in that relationship, you can't expect a woman to be submissive and just kind of like open to you leading because she doesn't completely trust you. She doesn't believe that you can lead in the right direction and you're not doing what you're supposed. I feel like a lot of men nowadays too, when they see an independent woman that has her own, they get intimidated.
That's it.
And it's more of a competition, right?
It
Because they
is.
might not have as much as her, so they're competing with her.
Right, exactly. Okay, and this one it says, yeah, how is a woman supposed to thrive in her femininity when she has to carry a man's load?
Right.
That's
so
what we're saying.
Got to
Yes.
do all that work, and he's not contributing as a man doing his part. What do you expect her to do? To just be like this submissive woman, this woman that could just be all feminine all the time? Nowadays, men want flowers. They don't want to give their women flowers. They want to have the flowers.
I love that. Okay, we need to quote that. I love that. Yes.
Yeah, and that they want to be treated. They want to be chased. Men want to be chased. Men want to be bought flowers and chocolates now, and they don't want to do it for women.
Yes.
And that's what's wrong. And there's actually, I was reading a scripture in the Bible. In the end of days, men are going to be more in love with themselves than they are women. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And that's powerful because if you look around, you really, I'm not going to say the end of days are coming, but they're going to be more in love with themselves. And even if you do, there's nothing wrong with self-love, but being overly obsessed with yourself. Like if you look around, even if you go to a gym, or you just go out in public and you see like, I feel like men are a lot more feminine now. Men are a lot more into themselves than are women.
I get that.
They are, I feel like, the catch. And I don't feel like it was ever intended to be that way. Men are hunters. Men are supposed to chase women, women that they want.
Yes.
I feel like social media and society has changed it so much to where they don't have to do that. And it kind of just screwed everything up.
It did. And I'm just trying to think, when did this all happen? Like we said, I still think the pandemic just kind of flipped everything. Like I still feel that time frame, like just kind of like did it all possibly. But no, you're right with all of this. I agree.
I think it was going to happen regardless. Like,
oh, you do?
Just the way things were folding out, just life. Like everybody. Yeah. I feel like everybody is more self-absorbed than ever now.
Yes, I agree with that 110%.
And that's just, you got to get out of that. You got to start thinking about other people other than yourself.
Yeah.
And cliche as that sounds, it's so true. Like, because that's the only way you're gonna grow and be the best version of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you sit there and you're thinking about yourself all day, it's actually gonna cause negative effects because you're gonna pick out all your flaws. Oh, I'm not happy with this. I don't look like this person. I wish I had this. And that's just you stuck in your head all day. And you got to get out of your head and get out of yourself so that you can grow and you don't get stuck in, because you're gonna get stuck in that negative space, and you're gonna feel like, yeah, I'm self-absorbed, but I'm not good enough.
Right.
Because I always had to chase the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
I always next best thing, and you're just never. It's never gonna be enough, and then eventually you're never gonna feel like enough.
Yeah. Well, do you think
you'll never know your value?
Do you think the roles are ever going to change where, like, the guys are going to start chasing the girls again? Do you think, like, that'll ever change, or this is just the new way?
I don't. Me personally, I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening because no. I just think it's gonna keep getting worse.
Yeah. Yeah. How were you affected personally, like, in, like, I guess the pandemic time frame, or just, like, these past few years? Like, do you feel like you've changed at all? Or are you the same Chris that you were years ago? Did you go through anything?
So the pandemic, yeah, I would say like that. The first year of the pandemic, I was always stuck in the mindset where I loved influencing and I was still doing it,
mm-hmm.
but I had to have a 9 to 5. I had to have a job. That's the only way I felt successful. I had to have a career job. And at that time, I was working with children. I was a youth counselor,
mm-hmm.
and I was doing my personal training. And after the pandemic, or during the pandemic, I think I found like the ambition to go get it myself and start my own business and work for myself, because that's what really made me happy, and just kind of pushing away from that 9 to 5. And I was working as a personal trainer, and I got my first Airbnbs. So I was getting Airbnbs for nurses and doctors, and that was my first opportunity for me to say, hey, I want to work for myself and I want to make money. So I did that, and I actually left my 9 to 5 job to do that full time. And that passive income that I was making expanded my mind to wanting to do a podcast and kind of finding my why and my purpose in life. Like, what do I want to do? Where do I really want to be in my life? And for me, that was doing the podcast, and that was inspiring and helping others, because now I have passive income, and now I'm making money on social media. So now I can do things that I love and enjoy doing. So that's how I got here. So I feel like the pandemic did help me push through, because it helped me understand that there's more to life than working a 9 to 5.
Now, being in your everyday life that you are the way that you are, do you find people like you around? Like, when you go out, like, do you go
I have a small group of friends, a small group of guy friends that I talk to, and they're generally older than me, a lot more mature. Me personally, I don't really go out much as far as like partying and stuff. I'll enjoy myself, but I'm very, a lot of times, to myself and my close people. And it's not in a sense where like I'm too good to talk to people. If somebody wants to talk to me, or if I'll have conversations with people. It's just it's hard for me to think when I'm around a lot of people. I like to spend time alone where I can think and get my thoughts together. And I don't want it to be influenced by other
Yes, I get that.
Thoughts and energy. I want it to be influenced by prayer and influenced by where my mind is and how I genuinely feel.
I actually understand. I get that. Yeah. Your energy, do you feel like if you come across like energies that don't like resonate with you or don't align with you, do you have to take some time to yourself and kind of...
Yes.
You do have to do that.
Yeah. And I separate it, right? So like my family and my close friends, I mean, I'll say like my family, when I go see my girl's family, like they don't know this side of me. They don't see necessarily like the things I talk to you about. They just see like the good chill side, because some people just aren't in the same headspace too. Like you can't have certain conversations with certain people, right? Because they're not gonna understand you.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna take it the wrong way. Like the conversation we have, if we had this with certain people, they would all probably feel intimidated.
Yeah, absolutely.
We feel too good.
Yeah.
Like we're too good. And that's not how we feel.
No.
We're just trying to protect energy and be in a good mind space. And that's just how I feel with it. So like I'm very careful with who I have these conversations with. who I talk to about certain things, because not everybody's ready for this conversation. Not everybody's ready to talk about these things, and they're not going to understand it, and they're not going to appreciate it.
Yeah. I feel like years ago, like the connections were stronger. I don't mean dating, just people,
Right.
friends, people, just the world. The connections were stronger with people, and everybody like related a little bit more. I feel like now everybody's kind of divided, so there's not many connections, and that's why too. It's like you could talk to people, but I feel like maybe that's why people feel so alone nowadays, is because no one really takes the time to get to know each other, and then everybody doesn't connect. Everybody's just on their own path and just walking around just like soulless. And everyone used to have heart. Everyone used to have soul. Everyone would be happy in life. And that was just, it's all swiped away now. And it's like everybody's just empty. Like they're just bodies and just roaming. And like, what do I do?
Where it went to, right?
No,
all
you tell me.
Energy and love, it went to social media. So
social
you meet
media.
a person, you see somebody on social media, they have an amazing personality.
Yes.
You meet a person, they have the personality of your big toe. They lost those communication skills. They don't have more. The only skills that they have are online. Like they're this amazing, fun, energetic person when you see them online. And you see them in person,
they're not even like that.
Sitting in their phone.
Yes. I guess, like we said, yes, social media, but I feel like for me personally, like we would have such life in us. Like everything was like exciting and life. And then I think the pandemic kind of knocked us down a little bit, whether we know it or not. Like it just kind of, life took over and like put it in a direction that wasn't expected. Like in life, we just expected life to go a certain way, and it has for years. And then the pandemic just turned it all around, and you're like, what is this new life? And like, just like, life's not the same. It needs that spice. It needs that life, that energy, that heart, the soul, and it doesn't have it.
Do you think it'll ever go back to that? Do you think we'll ever get that back?
I have it in me, and every day I keep building myself and saying like, okay, it will come back. I have it in me. It was all just kind of like not karma, but like a karmic like lesson time frame of 2 years. Everyone had to clear out all of this karma, be who the people we are now, and we will go back to our original selves. And I believe it. Our heart and souls will come back. Like I feel it. Like I can feel it, but it's gonna take time, and we're taking baby steps. But I think it'll go back. I think so. People will find their souls again, and I think just who we were actually. I think people are starting to awaken. I saw some people on social media, and they changed their username back to what they were 10 years ago. And I saw they were doing things that they were years ago, and I'm like, yes, like this is who we are. Wake up. Like it's like we all fell asleep spiritually. And it's like awaken. We all fell asleep, awaken. And just like if we awaken spiritually, we can feel like, here.
I agree. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's powerful. That's a very powerful way of putting it.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, there you go. But maybe we won't go back to the original people we were, but God has a better plan, and maybe He'll make us even better than we were. Because I'm like, do we want to be those people? They were great, and we lived those years. But maybe now God has a better plan, and we can live better years now. And He can make us new. It's like He destroyed us, God, only to rebuild us. And now we're getting built again, and He's putting new body parts on us. Like we're stronger now. He put us new arms, and we're stronger. We can run faster now. Like everything, our eyes now, like they were kind of closed off. Now He gave us new eyes, and we can see better. So I think that was God's plan the whole pandemic, the whole time frame, was to clear out all of that debris of karma and things, and just everything that was not aligned with us, and low vibrations, and really, really raise our vibrations to be aligned with God. And then once we get there, like we said, the whole world will awaken. So that's it.
Man, that's a word right there.
That's it. And we will awaken. Everyone will become awakened in our true selves. So
Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Now, I've been through a lot. I mean, growing up, I had a lot of struggles, a lot of depression, high school struggles.
You did.
I wrote a book, 24 Reasons You Are Good Enough. And like in that book, I talk about when I was younger and like going through depression and having really bad anxiety in high school. I feel like the only thing that made me social was playing sports. I was good at football, and going to a Catholic school, it was really tough. Like I had some really tough moments pretty much my whole 4 years of high school. I was very secluded. I just had really bad anxiety. It was hard for me to talk to people. I didn't feel good enough, kind of hated myself. So that was like my tough rut in my life. And then after that, I kind of just grew into a better person. But yeah, I feel like we need those hard times and those struggles to become better people and humble ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Prepare, right?
Yes. So your book, because I wanted to ask you about that, obviously. Tell us about that. What inspired you to write the book, and then how did that all come into place?
24 Reasons You Are Good Enough. That actually came from high school, me never feeling good enough.
Yeah.
Always feeling like I was worthless. Like I literally did not feel like I was a good, like I did not feel like I belonged around people. Like I didn't feel good enough. So me just kind of giving some inspiration. It's a shorter book. It's a self-help book for people to just read. You know, you can read one chapter a week and just kind of like positive affirmations and good energy get through that week to let you know that you are important. And I feel like it really helps. And it's a lot of my posts that I do on Facebook, maybe like a little bit of the clips that I do on Instagram. It's kind of like that kind of material.
Very nice.
Positive. Yeah.
That is awesome. Can you tell me, I'm curious for you, what was like the happiest you've ever been in your life? Do you have a moment in your life that you were just like, wow, ultimate happiness that you just like look back on and it kind of inspires you every day? Did you have a moment?
Now,
really?
Yeah, because I feel like I'm in such a good place financially. I'm in such a good place knowing what I want to do that, like, I don't know, I feel really good. I feel like I'm very liberated and very just positive. Like the future is bright.
That's great.
I'm not stressing, you know what I mean? And that's why I tell people, if you want to do something, go do it. Because me having my passive income, me making money, me doing things that I want, that I love, is just like the complete circle of my life. And then having my family, and then just working on me daily and realizing what I have to do to grow and how I could be a better man, a better dad, a better partner, a better son, a better brother. Like, those are things I need to work on, and those are things I now have the time to really focus on and help people with this podcast stuff and just keep growing it and keep inspiring millions of people. Like, that is that's what it's all about for me. And I feel like I'm in a really happy place right now.
That is awesome.
It was always a struggle before. It was always like, I have to get, I don't want to work a 9 to 5 anymore. I used to go to 9 to 5 miserable. I never wanted to do it. Like, I hated it so much. And actually, right before I left my personal training job to do my Airbnb stuff, I had applied for the police, like, to be a police officer, a Tioga County sheriff, and they actually reached back out to me right after I stopped working as a personal trainer, and I decided not to do it. I was like, no, I'm good.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? But that was my career. I went to college for. I went to college for criminal justice.
Yeah.
So I got my degree, and then like it was just kind of like an affirmation to let me know, like, this is cool, Chris, but you're past this now. You got other things that you're gonna do, and I feel like God was just telling me, like, He's got some big plans for me in the future.
I love that. And I love that your answer is that now you're the happiest in your life. I mean, of course, like, that's fine to have like moments back in the past, but I feel like the past is the past. But to be living it now and you're happy is like the ultimate goal. Like, that's the best thing you could say.
All the hard work is finally paying off and showing up. And sometimes I'm like, wow, like, what? Like,
that is awesome.
I'm able to do this. Like, it's so cool.
That is awesome. And like we said, though, it's your purpose. Like we said, there's more to it. Like we said, you're inspiring people behind it. And like, that's the greatest thing from it as well. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
What about you? Would you consider, like, when was the happiest point in your life?
Oh, man. I feel like, okay, when I look back at my past and I like kind of like flash back, I see a lot of moments actually. Like, I see a lot of different moments that I was like, oh, happy here, happy here, happy here, but never happy with myself. They were just moments. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I was never happy with myself. I was just living life on the fast, like, oh, this is great, this is fun, this is fun, this is fun. And then I said to myself, I was like, now that I stood back and just kind of took a break for myself, I'm like, I'm the happiest now because, like, I'm aligned with myself and I don't need anything in life. I'm just content with myself. And now I'm truly happy. And I'm like, wow, it took so long.
There you go.
Yeah.
I feel like it's time, right? Like, the more you get to know yourself and the more you get secure with yourself.
Yeah, yeah. But I feel like
I talk to people that are like in their 40s and 50s, and they'll be telling me, like, the older you get, the less you care about what people think, the less you care about stuff.
Yes.
You just want to enjoy life and be happy. And
that's true.
Your 30s, we think that we're like there now, but I feel like our 40s and our 50s, we're gonna just be like so chill because we're not gonna care about stuff.
Yeah.
Like right now, we're still in that point where we still want to look fit and look good. We're still in that, and I'm not saying you won't when you get older, but you're not gonna care as much about.
Yeah, you don't care.
That we care about in our 20s and our 30s.
Yeah.
It'll be less relevant to us.
Yeah. So tell us more about Married at First Sight. You told us about your experience on the show. Is there anything behind the scenes that we did not see that you live that we can know?
So we shot the show in St. Lucia. And if I had to say, like, one of the worst things about shooting was not being able to get a haircut.
Oh my gosh.
Notice, like, towards the end of the show, like, my hair started looking crazy. And I'm like, yo, bro, I need to get a haircut. And
you wore the bandana. I remember the bandana you wore.
Yeah, and I'm telling the producers, I'm like, I need a haircut. Like, I get a haircut every 2 weeks, week and a half. So they were like, okay, we'll set you up with this guy. So they sent me up with this guy from St. Lucia. I met him in like a gym area, and like he did no justice to my hair. Like he barely did anything. I think he was like nervous cutting the hair. I don't know why, but that was probably like the most upsetting thing. But aside from that, I mean, it was just a great experience. I did not expect them to bring back Jocelyn when they brought her back. That was crazy to me. Of course, they set the drama up around me.
Okay, they did. Okay, I was gonna say, how much was your like for her? What you're allowed to tell us? How much did you like her?
No, she was cool. I mean,
Okay.
I was definitely attracted to her.
You were.
I didn't really know too much about her. You know, we talked a little bit, but like it was more like the physical attraction. I was like, she's cool. I wanted to get to know her. I actually said that when the show first started. That was the first person I wanted to talk to.
Okay.
Get to know. And then I met Jada, and we kind of kicked it off. But a lot of people don't know this about the show, and this is probably the first time you even hear it. Like Jocelyn was actually interested in Shannon too. And like she actually was talking to Shannon first.
Really?
Yeah. So when I tried to talk to her, she was kind of like playing it off because she was talking to Shannon. So I was like, all right, cool. So I went and talked to Jada.
Yeah.
And then she ended up coming back around later. So I didn't know how genuine it was with that either. So aside from she didn't ask any questions about my daughter, I didn't know like really interested. She seemed like she was, but I wasn't 100% sure at that time. And after the show, Jocelyn we never talked. I don't even think she followed me.
Oh my gosh.
Platforms. Yeah, she was kind of upset with me. She said I led her on, but I don't feel like I really led her on.
No.
People really know the backstory. Like she was initially talking to Shannon first.
Right. Now, is there anything that you like is really memorable to you about the show that you really just like stood out to you that you just
The most memorable. Oh man, I had some fun times. I think the most memorable was when we went in the air. Yeah, I'm not a heights person, so.
Oh, you're not.
That was super scary for me. Like a lot of people thought I was faking it, but like I was super scared.
Really?
I do not like heights at all.
Oh, not at all. Do you do like just basic stuff? I don't know, or just everything height related you don't do?
I mean, I'll do a little. I'm trying to like come into it a little bit. This is one of the things I'm trying to work on. I'm doing a little rock climbing and stuff, but it's just something about heights, man. It's not having control. That's what
yeah. How do you do with airplanes?
At first, when I first started getting on planes, I was like freaking out. But now, since I've been on so many planes, I kind of just got used to it. I just throw my head on, relax.
Okay. Because I was gonna say you have no control there, and that's up in the air.
That's how I knew I'm like, wait, maybe I'm a little controlling. The fact that I knew all this control.
That's crazy. Do you have any other fears? Like anything?
Not really. I mean, I don't really like spiders. That's about it.
Spiders. Okay.
Like, for my two no-nos.
Okay. So if you or Brittany comes across a spider, is Brittany gonna get it? Unless you save it, of course. So, what happens? What? It depends. What?
How big this? If it's a huge spider, she's probably not gonna touch it. But like
I was gonna say, she's gonna get the spider.
I mean, big spiders are creepy. Like
they are creepy. How about your daughter? Is she scared?
No, I mean I don't think she really understands how creepy they are either. I don't mind snakes. I'm cool with snakes and all that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love snakes, but spiders are just hairy, ugly creatures.
Oh yeah. What else was I gonna say? Okay, so also Married at First Sight. Tell us just something else about the show. I'm trying to think like what else that's good. Like there's no more behind the scenes stuff. Okay, you told us why you wanted to go on the show. I know, like I can't say when people ask, would you do the show again? But would you, or would you do another reality show? Not to find love because you have love, but I'm saying like another reality show. Would you do something like that, or are you into that?
I would love to do a competitive reality show.
Okay.
Like a challenge or something like where I'm competing physically. Yes, 100%. Relationship wise, obviously not.
Yeah, no, not like that. I'm just saying, so like something fitness related, you would do.
Yeah, me and Brittany both got asked to go on a show to like where it's couples and like you intermingle with other couples, and I'm just like, I'm good on that.
I was gonna say, okay, would you do like a couple show? Yeah, I don't know what for. Like, would you do a couple?
There's the chance that you could talk to somebody else. Like,
that show. Okay. Oh no.
And I'm just like, that's probably not a good fit for us.
No. What else? So tell us about your daily life then. Like, what do you do like on a daily basis? What's your life look like? Just normal daily routine. What do you do?
So my daily routine is I get up early, I send out my emails, I get pretty much all my work stuff done. And that's the majority of my early morning. And then I do my Airbnb stuff because I have a couple places that I have to make sure everybody's checking in and the cleaners are there. Or sometimes me and Brittany will go and clean it ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we do the gym. And then I usually come back in that evening. If I don't have any like business trips or anything, that evening I'll come back and I'll shoot podcast material.
Okay.
Like, that's my favorite. Like, so I try to get like 3 or 4 videos at least in the camera roll so that I can promote for the next day or two.
That is awesome. When you and Brittany go out, like, do you guys do date nights a lot? Like, do you go out? Do you like to stay in? What do you guys like doing as a couple?
We go to the arcade.
Oh, you go to the arcade?
We do like little kid stuff. We just have fun. Like, we'll go to an arcade. We'll go to the movies. We'll go out to eat.
I love that.
We're from a small town, Binghamton, New York. So
that is fun.
Not a lot to do out here. Like, and I like it like that. I like the country. Like, I love being away and just kind of out of the way. But here, there's not much to do. So we just kind of find things to do that we enjoy. The arcade is one of them. It's like this old arcade that we go to. It's called Robot City.
Oh, wow.
The old Mario Brothers, Pac-Man.
No way.
Ball machines. Yeah, it's really cool.
That is awesome. Now, who's like the cook of the house? Like, do you cook the food? Does Brittany cook? Like, who?
Brittany will cook. She cooks these like poppin' bang bang tacos. They're like the best tacos you could ever
Really?
have.
Awesome.
But I mean, if I generally try to eat more lean, so I'll eat a lot of chicken and rice. So I'll cook food and stuff like that.
Oh, awesome.
But when it comes to like the extravagant good dinners that I look forward to after like cheat days and stuff like that, Brittany throws it down in the kitchen.
Oh, and what nationality are you guys both then? What is she? What are you like?
So she's Italian and Guyanese.
Oh, wow.
I'm German and black.
That is cool. That is awesome. Nice mix.
The goal is to get married soon too. Like.
I was gonna say I don't know if that's like to be talked about. Like that's a goal.
The goal is definitely to get married. Like the pressure's on.
Oh my god.
I mean, I try not to let the pressure get to me, but at the end of the day, it's been 5 years, so it's time.
Wow. Is it something because you feel like the time has just come for that, or do you think like you're like actually ready for it, or what?
Yeah, I think I'm ready 100%. And I know she wants to have a kid, so I mean she's just turned 30, so I just biological clock. I don't want to have her waiting too long.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's coming.
Wow, what would a dream wedding be like for you? Like where, location wise, what type of wedding would you want?
It's just very simple when it comes to a wedding. Like Brittany's very much so into like Morticia and Gomez. Like those are her.
Oh,
idols.
really?
She loves like the dark. Like when she saw the Wednesday the show that came out.
Yeah.
She loved it. Like that's literally what she knows. Like that's what she grew up on. That's like,
oh my gosh.
So our wedding would definitely be like a relaxed setting. I think she wanted maybe a black wedding.
Wow. You know what though? That's romantic though. That tone. Like.
Yeah.
Gomez and her like.
It's not traditional. Like some people might be like, "Oh, you're tripping," but.
No, actually.
Who cares what traditional is, right?
No, I think that's cool. That is awesome. And did you say location wise, or does it matter where? Like, did you have a location in mind, or you just kind of just?
I mean, we have some beautiful places around the area.
Yeah.
That we would definitely consider.
So you wouldn't travel anywhere. That's what I'm saying. I guess would you travel out somewhere, just like?
I don't think we would make it crazy extravagant. I don't think we would like do like another country or anything, or we'd have a bunch of people. Like no, we just have like immediate close family.
Yeah.
Right. And stuff like that. Just very simple. Like it's more about the experience and being with people that you love.
That is awesome.
Relaxed setting. That's what I care about.
Well,
I know he cares about too.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you too. So, what is the life for you being at the point of getting married now at this point that you've come so far in life of like your single self like years ago, and then now you're at that point. How do you actually feel like you're here? Okay, like what's it like?
New chapters. Because I mean, me personally, I didn't know when I would get married, but the fact that it's close and it's like I gotta think about those things now. Like it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's another chapter, right?
Yeah. That's awesome. That is so cool. And I was going to ask you and Brittany, are you more so compatible? Or you guys like your personalities different? Or you said she was independent. You're like that too. Are you guys more similar and that's what makes you get along?
Well, I feel like when me and Brittany started dating, like she was able to like kind of relax more. She didn't have to do as much. Like she came more to her feminine side as a woman. So I mean, and we understand each other now. So like we don't really. When we first started dating, she was very strong-minded. Like it was very like hard for her to see my perspective on certain things. But as time went on, and she got more comfortable, and she was able to relax more, she kind of just understands it more, and we're in a great place.
Awesome. And then you didn't tell me, because you told me you guys were friends and everything like that, and you knew her from high school. How did the whole situation of you guys getting together transpire? That, like, how did that happen? Who texted who? Who went after who? Okay, like, okay, you guys are friends. That's fine. But then what? Like, tell us just that portion.
In high school, I was just, and this is where my experience comes from. I just had fun. Like I was a little player in high school.
Okay.
I talked to different girls, and that was pertained to a lot of me just being young. And I actually tried talking to her a couple times in high school. She wouldn't give me no time of day, though.
Oh my gosh, no way!
She was not interested. No, not at all. Not whatsoever. So as we got, older, and after I came back from the show and I ran into her again downtown, then she finally gave me a chance, and we were able to talk. And we talked downtown at like a local club. I was with my boy, and my boy was actually, he knew her from high school too. He's like, man, she looks so good. I'm like, she does look good, doesn't she? So I started talking to her, and then I asked her for her number that night, and I don't think she gave me. I think I gave her my number, but she never texted me. And then I sent her a message on social media, like, hey, you never texted me.
No way!
And then she's just like, oh, I'm sorry, I've been caught up with stuff. I'm like, that's cool. And then I just kind of was patient. And then we ended up getting coffee one night. She just came to my house, picked me up. We went and got coffee, and we were at like a park. And then we just talked. And then we just kind of built from there. And here we are.
Wow. Okay, wait. So she didn't text you back. How much after did you go on social media?
It was probably like a couple of days, and I'm like,
oh, it was a couple of days, like, hello.
Like, I just want to know.
Now,
I didn't hear from you. I gave you a number.
So now that you know Brittany, obviously, I'm saying, did you ask her at this point why that happened? Why did she not text you?
Yeah, because I just knew how she was. Like,
okay.
I didn't expect her to reach back out to me.
Okay.
Like, especially with me asking her, like, can you send me a message? She's probably like, no, just because you asked, I'm not gonna do it now.
Oh my gosh.
So I was persistent. You know what I mean?
You were persistent. I think
and not in a crazy way. I was persistent. Like, I would love to get to know you a little better. If you're not interested, I understand. Just let me know.
That is so nice and refreshing hearing that of a persistent guy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then also, so would you say you and her started off after you got her number and then you guys went out for coffee? Was it more of a friendship and it built, or was it just kind of like, over time it kind of built? Or like friends and then...
Over time, we built.
Over time.
Yeah, it took a lot of time. I feel like our rockiest times were in the beginning because we were learning each other. We both had such strong personalities. So our harder times were like starting out because we had to fill each other out.
Yeah.
And kind of figure each other out.
Yeah.
And how to work with each other and build our relationship. And then over time, obviously things got much better. And I feel like we're in a good place where we truly understand each other. And I'm sure once we get married and then we have kids, there'll be new ventures and new things that we have to learn and understand.
Yeah.
It won't be easy all the time, but it's another process.
Yeah. That is cool. Awesome. And then also, so she gets along with your daughter now.
Yeah, she does. She gets along with Bella very well. Like, I'd be like lying if I said like I have a perfect relationship with the mother of my child, and I think that's because of Brittany, because we are in a close place. So it does get difficult sometimes, but my daughter loves Bella 100%.
That's awesome.
And their name is both Bella. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. Wait, her name is Brittany or Bella?
Well, we call her Bella, and then my daughter's name is Chrisabella, so her name is Bella too. So
that is crazy.
Yeah, it's cool.
And so do you believe in fate, stuff like that? Because how does that happen? How can you not?
How is that fate? I mean, is it a coincidence or is it fate? Who knows?
Come on.
You shall never know.
Oh my God. I'm a fate believer. I'm going to say fate. I'm going for the fate cards. But anyways.
There you go. Okay.
You can't not. It's not, that can't be by chance.
Okay. So I'm going to go with you on that.
Okay, good. I believe it. Do you think your story with Brittany was pretty fated? I actually believe in soulmate. I'm just saying you and Brittany to be together.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah. she helped me out. She in the beginning of my relationship, she really pushed me to be the man that I am today.
Oh, wow.
Like, she helped me to grow. Like, her independence in the beginning, yeah, it's hard to explain because I just feel like we worked well with each other. We helped each other grow a lot in the beginning. Like, I owe a lot of my growth to her, and I feel like she would probably say the same.
Oh,
And I feel like
wow.
that's what a relationship is about, is helping each other grow and reach new levels and challenging each other with certain things.
So at that point, because it was after the show, you weren't a player at that point. You were just like stable and ready
No.
to find someone still at
Yeah,
that point.
I wanted somebody real.
You did at that point. You're not, okay.
I was 29. I was just like, man, this is old. Like, I can't do this. I'm tired of asking a girl what her favorite color is for the third time this week, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Like, I don't want to go through these stages no more. I
Yeah,
just want to
no.
meet somebody that I can genuinely, like, have a connection with.
Yeah.
And build with.
Yeah.
You know, it gets lonely when sometimes you want to go do stuff.
Yes.
And you don't have nobody to do it with, or somebody you feel completely comfortable doing it with. And it's like, damn, I guess I could just go with my friends or by myself. But
Yeah.
you want to go with somebody that you love and that you have a relationship with, and you're like,
I know.
yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that you asked me to be a part of your interview. Like, this is really cool. You seem like a very nice person. And I would love to do it again in the future.
Thank you so much. It was great having you.